Howdy folks, welcome back to KBIL Arc. Today we have a subscriber request, one that I had from a while ago, right before my hiatus, and we're going to honor it today. It is Salt Lake City to Billings, Montana. And we do a low jet, it's like 470 nautical miles, maybe a little less as the crow flies. But we're going to fly it, and it's going to take a while. So that's why we're taking a low jet. Oh, look at that, 737 taking off. We're going to kind of pan around and follow it. Weather is manually clear today because right now in Salt Lake City, very low clouds with high wind gusts. We're going to be able to see it take off. Or was it landing? Maybe it was landing because now it's taxiing. Interesting. I was talking at the same time, kind of misinterpreted what it was doing, I guess. Anyway, at Salt Lake City at the moment, very low clouds and high gusty winds. In Billings, Montana, severe weather, fogged in. So we could fly this plane, you know, using the GPS the entire way right to minimums, and we'd be fine, probably. I would think the winds are just good enough that we'd be fine. But because it's a subscriber request, I assume people want to see their area from the sky in the simulator. So we're going to have a clear sky so our subscriber who requested this can see the area. Actually, let's pan back this way. I want to look at the city and the mountains. So the Aerobask 550, Eclipse 550 NG, which is the payware version. There was a freeware version of this, and I liked it so much I immediately got the payware version when it came out. And I'm zoomed out kind of far away because that GPU is very loud. I also found out in this most recent update of the aircraft, there's a headphone thing we're going to try to use. That's kind of fun, makes it quieter. I like it. So anyway, there's your Salt Lake City, which I've never been to, but my wife was there for a conference. I think I talked about it at a previous Salt Lake City flight. You can see the interstate going through the trees. I love this high detail. Those stutters you're seeing, which I think you see them on the recorded version, isn't low frame rates. We're getting like 75 frames right now, even with all the detail. Now he's taken off. But the like micro stutters, that's an X-Plane thing. Austin himself has talked about it. They're aware of it. It's just the way it is. See, we get them now too when there's nothing to draw. So that's not a frame rate thing. I just make that comment because I know I have my settings cranked up high, but we're well above 30, which is your target point. I could turn my anti-aliasing up a little higher, but then my frame rate's cut below 30. So I'm at that sweet spot where my settings, my frame rates are so high, I could bump them up, but if I do, then I drop all my frames. So we're going to keep it like this. At least detail is highest. That's what's important to me. And the nicer mesh. See how it's micro stuttering again? That is not a VSync issue because you wouldn't be able to see it anyway and it's not a frame rate issue. It's just the way it is. Very strange. But anyway, let's slowly zoom in now to the airplane. It's going to get a little bit louder. I'll try to take care of that sound in editing if it gets to be too loud. But anyway, not much else to say. I actually wasn't going to give an introduction, but I like to give introductions. It's part of the process, right? It's not about landing, which I used to think. It's all about the landing. No, it's about the process, about the immersion. It's about everything. So this part, the introduction to the video, is part of the process. So anyway, very beautiful looking aircraft. I think we're a little close here. So anything else you need to do? I'm using my new checklist printed out in large point font because I'm over 40. So I need the large font, unfortunately. I feel awful. When I read music, I read tiny print music just fine, but words in the dark, different story. See, do you hear the GPU panning around? Very loud. Alrighty, what do we need to do first? We gotta get the people in. So let's back up a little bit so we can see this happen. I do have a lot of shades closed just because someone was cleaning the shades. They're a little bit dusty. We'll open them in a minute. First of all, let's get the people in. We're going to have an adult up here. Actually, no, we're going to be alone up there. What is it? It's going to be 2 adults and their baby. Not baby, their child. Going from Salt Lake City to visit Grandma in Montana. They bring in everything they've got, all the luggage they've got. Fuel. That's the one next thing I should do for realism is calculate what I need for fuel. I just do tons of fuel. That's what I just do. I've talked about before how every couple weeks or months I try to think of a new thing I can incorporate because a flight simulator is what you make of it. You can play it like an arcade game, or you can do it like you're seriously studying or to practice if you already have a pilot's license. I'm kind of in that I've moved beyond. Well, I've never been I've always been more than a casual simmer. So let's say arcade simming is on the left of the scale. Practice for serious real pilots is on the right. I would say I'm closer to the right of that scale, maybe in the 70s, 75%, maybe even 80% over towards seriousness. So things I could do is better flight planning rather than just relying on SkyVector and saying, this line looks good. I'm doing that. Well, I just land alpha. That's the only way to do it. But, things like this, I just plugged it in and said, that's my flight. However, that being said, if we were flying for a company, we would have company routes determined for us. So I was talking to my pilot friend, the one who's been on the channel before, and he never plans a flight. He just gets in there plane and turns it on, and the AC something company something does it, and he can request changes if he wants for any reason, as long as it's safe. But he doesn't, is all given to him. So I guess maybe the flight planning I'm doing as realistically as possible. But this fuel calculation, I really need to get better about this because I really don't know. I don't know. What do we need to get 470 nautical miles? Fuel 477. I mean, is this fuel that, see, weight in kilograms? So, I don't know, like, how far that's going to get us. In the FlyJ Sim products, it tells you, but I don't know. So let's just go like 60%. And if I need to add more in the air, I'll just add more in the air. See, okay, that's something I got to do. All right, so there we go. People, luggage, fuel, chocks off. Chocks off, that's ground. There we go. Reset all my power levers, etc., etc. I guess we're going to hop inside now. Let's hop inside where it's nice and loud. Should we put our headphones on now? No, we can put our headphones on in a minute. See how loud that is? I'm not even going to turn it down that much in editing because it's crazy. Oh, yeah, let's get our Garmin going here. Parking brake set. It's this button. There we go. And this says brakes on up above on the panel. Oxygen pull on before close the door first. So now we close the door from here. And it should get quieter. It'll get quieter. Do I click? And I have to click here. And then here's the headphone thing I was talking about. Is that cool? I'm not sure how much that's coming across with my editing, but basically it's your volume, right? So we'll see how much that affects the engine sounds in the air. Maybe we won't even use it, because then you might not hear anything, because I already turned the sound down almost all of the way in editing. It's so loud. In fact, here's a sample right now. If I kept the sound at default, you can't even hear my voice. See, it's that bad. Now I turn it back down, and now I can hear my voice just fine, but it's turned down like almost to infinite, no sound. So maybe we'll leave that alone, because if we do turn that on, then you can't hear anything, see? It's completely silent. You just hear my background noise. You hear my washing machine going. Alrighty, here we go. Let's stay on task. I'm pretty chatty today. I'm having my first day without child care, or first day where I'm not caring for my kids in like 3 weeks. I've got a few hours alone. I just don't know what to do with myself. Here we go. There we go. I love that sound. Air source to normal. There we go. And bus ties to auto. Annunciator test. It's actually this. Nope, that's something else. This is the EL. Annunciator test is up here. There we go. And then ELT, which I just did. We should not hear that unless we hit the ground too hard. External lighting. What do we need? We're gonna do strobe and beacon right now. Do I have a thing for nav lights at the end of the runway? If not, I'll turn them on now. Let me check my checklist. No, I don't. So we'll do nav lights now. I guess that's what our company wants. Okay, make sure. Let's see, what else do we need? Do that in a second. We don't need any interior lighting in the footwells or anything. You can turn this stuff on. It's not going to show up. Nope, there's no reason to. Day and night. If we did this, it would change this to dimmer. See, don't need that. All right, gear 3 green. Fuel quantity check. Right here, very full. Altimeter and barometer 3902 because 2902, sorry, because we have weather turned off. Let's just like this 2902, right? I've been doing so much real world weather that I forgot what standard is. 2902, yeah, of course it is. Okay, let's see. Moving along, the nav, radio, GPS, etc. All right. Of course, I have a flight plan in here. And we're going to load catalog. Where are you? Here we go. Salt Lake City to Billings, Montana. Activate. Activate. Now, My loaded. Oh, that's new. Okay, you can go away now. Thank you. My original plan was to, you know, get in the sky, load our approach at cruise, and then pick a runway based on the weather as we got closer. But that's not necessary because it's calm, so we'll just pick whatever runway we want. But I do have everything loaded in here. I should really do a tutorial on how to do that. You can figure it out on the forums, but it's over wordy and over complicated. We flight sim folks are generally super detailed, so when you read a tutorial or something, the detail is almost too much. I should do a simple tutorial on how to get this in here and get all your maps in here. It's so easy once you know, it's like duh, but if you don't know that first time, it can be a nightmare reading tutorials. We'll see. So anyway, we're gonna go here, and then there's a long path there, and then there's, in this middle section, there's like every couple miles, and then another airway, and then there we go. So what we'll do is we'll calculate our top of descent when we're at cruise based on our cruising altitude and airport elevation, which we'll do in the air because we'll give something to do, because this is going to be like an hour in the air. And I'm going to cut some of that out, but we'll just talk about it in the air. So for right now, that's all we need to do, I think. And then over, where's my preset for? There we go. Yeah, we're just gonna follow this, and then we'll be, at cruise like around here somewhere, and then we'll figure it out. What we're gonna do from there. Very simple, actually. I mean, just make it more complicated just by blabbing about it. Is there anything else I want to do with this? Not at the moment. Where's home on here? It's up here. Charts, we'll worry about charts later. That's where I have this. See, there we go. See, it loaded our thing. We are here. I think, we're here somewhere. We're in GA2, which doesn't look like any of that. I don't see GA on here. We'll have to look at the sim map and see where it put us and then go from there. All right, so let's keep that up. Weather, if you wanted to, you could do weather. It doesn't matter because I turned it off. So we'll just look at the chart. That's what we need in the moment. Alrighty. This does not have a TOD calculator, which is top of descent calculator. It does not have a descent calculator. It has none of that. It's not the fancy version. This is not the paid version of this. GN 76050 thing. I don't have the paid. This came with aircraft. So we have to calculate our top of descent ourselves and our descent ourselves. What we will do down here, though, is get our timers going once we're going. All right, we'll talk about that later. I've talked about it before. And in fact, Aerobask, the designer, has watched my videos with this aircraft, so thank you for watching again. A lot of designers watch my videos. You must search them out. I mean, I know I used to be kind of well known on the forums of the planes I owned, answering questions every day for people, but I haven't for a year. But they've watched all my videos, and I do this right, apparently. So, I mean, don't take my word for it. It's been a while, I'm a little rusty, but whatever I do, the designer said I'm doing it right, including the GPS approach. So we'll talk about that when we need to. And why am I getting phone calls when I'm supposed to have my alone time? Okay, moving along. Jeez Louise. Down here, this needs, no wait, over here needs to be sky view. This can turn off, this can turn off. Sky view is our GPS. So if you want to follow your flight plan you put in this thing, it has to be sky view over here. Sky view is setting your CDI to GPS. See, it says GPS down here in purple. I get that question a lot, or I used to. Map with TCAS and weather. I call this my map. Is TCAS and weather on? Yes, it's been on by default for quite a while now. We can also declutter this, which I'll figure out during one of my edits in flight. I'm not going to waste your time. It's already been 15 minutes. Alrighty. There we go. Green indicators. Yeah, see, a lot of these notes I can get rid of because I know what I'm doing now. Alright, I have a note here. If you want to put headphones on now, we can. Except you probably can't hear a thing. Let's keep the headphones on for a little bit and see how it is in flight. If we don't hear the engine sounds at all when we're in flight and all you hear my voice and my clothes dryer in the background, then I'll take the headphones off instead of messing with editing every couple minutes because that gets laborious. Alrighty, here we go. Start battery on. All right, engine start. Let's see. Sometimes it takes a while to do this. Sometimes it works right away. Sometimes you gotta do like 5 times. And it looks like today It's going to work except my mouse stopped working. There we go. All right, I'm going to let that start up while I see why I'm being bothered here in my alone time. All right, looks like we're idle at 67, and I hear no idle sounds or anything. I'm going to take the headphones off. There we go. Now I can hear things again. Okay. Left engine start. Let's see if this starts on its first try. Like I said, sometimes it takes a while. Looks like it's going to work. Awesome. I'll edit out while it spools up. I'll catch you in a second. All right, we're about stable at 67, and there it is. Alrighty, what is next? Check engine gauges. I just did. Left and right generator on. There's left and there's right. Or auto, I guess. GPU disconnect. So there it is out there. But if we take this, can we see both at once? Nope. Then we go like this. It's gone. And it's way quieter, isn't it? Go away. Go away. Where do I click on you to go away? Oh, I can move that around. Interesting. Ooh, it even gets like perspective changes. Ooh, that's fancy pants. There we go. All right, trim set. It always is. No, it is. Oh, shoot. I just moused on the wrong spot. Trim set. Where is it? Trim, trim, trim. You have to do it with the trim wheel. And is it even moving at all? It's moving down. Oh my gosh, this is going to take forever. I don't think there's a way to do this on screen. Nope. That's interesting. This is all changing as I click in different parts of the screen. Huh. Interesting. Oh, trim the wrong way. Okay, let me quick do this. Okay, that should be good. Alrighty, let's see what is next. Flaps to take off. Just do my yoke. Right. And we should get flaps take off right there. There we go. Alrighty, make sure to bump it twice. Nope. Alrighty. Anti-ice is next. That is right here. And then window fog as needed. We'll turn on. It's really loud, but you know, let's turn it off. Only turn it off if you need it. And you will need it sometimes. It'll fog up your windows and you can't see. It's really awesome, but it's very loud. Taxi lights, where are you? Taxi, does it go up twice? Nope, it's just once. Okay. Taxi lights, autopilot setup. Where's my autopilot preset? I don't know. I have an autopilot preset somewhere. I guess I don't. Do I not? Oh, that's loud. There it is. My last preset. Again, you can do 20 presets. All right, what do we do? I have notes. Set the altitude. Here. We're going all the way up today. We're going to try 32,000. This thing gets kind of wobbly up there, but we're going to try it. Enter cruise and then alt change. There we go. And then use nav or heading. We're going to use the nav. And the nav is set to GPS down here. IAS, we're going to, let's see, what to do up there. That's when we do autopilot on, does yaw damper, right? Yep. All right, we're going to do 167 for IAS hold, which means it'll hold us at 167 knots until we get to 32,000 feet. And you know that because it's in blue here, although sometimes it doesn't work. So if we go back and we go autopilot, see, it's not. We want to do, we'll fly, where is it? Pitch. It is 2. It is 2. So IAS is in green and it's on blue, and alt change, because right now we're on the ground at 4,200 feet. So alt change will get us up to 32,000, and then alt over here will turn green when it's ready. We can do this to sync if we want to just be our instant, altitude. And approach. I've never used the approach button because I use GPS stuff. Like, I'll just let the computer line up our approach and then we just take over manually when we're lined up. This steps us down to, I think I went down to complete minimums in my first flight with this in Duluth, Minnesota. And I never pressed this button. The computer just took GPS and it went all the way to minimums. And then I didn't take over in time and it started going off to the right really sharp. But it worked. So let's see here. Let's go back, and we're good there. Okay, what is next? I think we are ready to roll away. Yep, time to taxi. Let's get to the end of the runway. Let's do our last. Let's start with this view. Actually, no, we need to see where we're going. We're going to take advantage of this map. Okay, let's pull up the sim map, though. Where did it dump us? Okay, it dumped us to the right of the other main runway, so put us right here. We're like right here. So we're simply just going to make a U-turn and take taxiway Kilo to Kilo 1. And this is take off on 35. There's no wind. Let's just do that. And then we will see the lake. And we'll head out to the runway and do the next taxi thing. So it takes a lot to get rolling. Come on. There we go. Alright. Let's do our taxi view just because I like to. Oh, that is so loud. Oh my. Kilo must be right up here. I think. Yep. Should we taxi together today? Should we just make this a very long video? Let's make this a very long video. Oh, we're getting stuck. Come on. Oh, keep going. Let's see. Can we do it? There we go. Very nice. So now we're on Kilo. Almost. I brought the throttle back too much. It is taking so much throttle to get going. I'm almost at full throttle just to roll. Wow. There we go. And once you do roll, it's going to go fast. So we got to be careful here. Once I get set, I want to spin around so we can see. Come on. Let's see the rest of the airport that somebody took their time to model. Very nice. Again, so many little stutters. It's not frame rate issues. Cause look at the plane. The plane is smooth. Anyway. Whoops. It's hard to attack when you're not looking at it. Alrighty, it's too noisy out here. Let's head inside. And let's just continue on our way on from Kilo to Kilo 1. Alrighty, let's head out towards Kilo 1 and stop at the stop line. Come on. Nice and smooth. Easy does it. Perhaps. Oh, come on. You can do it. Okay, let's just stop right here because it takes so much to get going. Alright, stop here. And parking brake. And what is next? Confirm flaps. Yes, landing lights can come on. Override switches so that the lights in the back are all off. Shades all have to go up. Sorry about that, everybody. Can't see the shades from here, but they're all up now, I promise. And put that back. I think I go back. There's a certain spot. There it is. Push the heading bug in case you screw up autopilot and start the timer, but that's at the end of the runway right before we roll out. So here we go. Parking brake off. And is it going to work? I wanted to check back here too because it was really cool to see these. Well, to see all the shades up. Oh my. Yay. Let's not do that again. Assume your position on the runway 35. Alrighty, here we go. We're not gonna just roll it and go. We're gonna stop a second so I can remember how to set my heading bug. Oh my gosh, are you gonna line up for me or not? It takes so much throttle to get unstuck. There we go. Alright, let's stop a second. And parking brake one last time. And what the heck? This one. Do we push it? For heading bug? No, we just have to hold it, I guess. You must be able to push it somehow. I just don't know how. I'm sure you can. Come here. Oh, there we go. Boom. Now if we screwed up autopilot, when we engage autopilot, it'll be fine. Speaking of autopilot, what is my autopilot engage button? Let's just pull this up together and look at my joystick. Autopilot is at 11? No, that's my... what's it? 10 is parking brake. What's my autopilot button? Oh, I took it off because it stopped working. So I have to do autopilot manually now. I think. I don't see it. Do you see it on here? Where's my autopilot button? Yeah. None. Throttle. Do. I don't see autopilot. I don't see autopilot. If it's on there, I'm going to catch it editing, but I don't see it in real time. Okay. Not screwing around. Let's get out of here. Parking brake is off. Let's spool this thing slowly and get going. We have a long runway. Not in a hurry. And away we go. Took us about half an hour to get going, which is fine because I mean it's about 10 a.m. The starter timer. I knew I'd forget that. All right, here we go. Bumpity bumpity. And we're going to, I think 92, we're going to pop off the ground if I remember. It should just lift itself off, really. And there's 92, pop up. Come on, pop up. Whoa, you're coming in. Flaps coming in. And we'll wait for autopilot. We'll wait for autopilot. Why not? Let's hand fly a little bit. Let's enjoy this. Look at that. Smooth as silk when there's no wind. There's Salt Lake right over there. Alright, flaps and gear are confirmed in. Let's bring back throttle so we don't blow them up. Get those out of the yellow. There we go. Engage autopilot. And it's going to kind of S-curve us to get lined up with our GPS. Okay, let's see. After takeoff, gear up, flaps up, autopilot engage, climb at 167. At 18,000 feet, do standard barometer. Don't need to worry about that. Window fog as needed. Let's turn that on now. Override switch can come off. People can have their lights if they want them. Passenger lights as desired. And then we've got nothing till descent and landing. See? A lot of blabbing leading up to it, but now that we're in the sky, we just sit here. So what we're going to do, we're going to do a little bit of sightseeing. And then when we get to cruising altitude, 32,000 feet, we're going to come back to the Garmin. And we are going to talk about the runway we're going to choose and activate it. And then we're going to talk about calculating top of descent. But let's just enjoy the scenery leaving Salt Lake. And I'll catch you in a little bit. Alright, we're about to hit top of descent. But first I want to enjoy this amazing scenery with you. Hopefully my sightseeing edit did justice to the area. And let's hop outside. It's going to get loud. Let's just have a peek around here. Look at these amazing mountains. There's Salt Lake City area behind us. It's starting to get kind of hazy back there. The deserts, the Great Salt Lake itself is so big that even at nearly 32,000 feet, you have to pan around to see it. That's pretty spectacular. Oh, we got a city down there. A nice heart-shaped lake. Oh, how adorable. So yeah, I mean, Flight Simulator, first and foremost, is about simulating flights and systems and everything, but I gotta admit, the flight simulators of today, sometimes I like to fly just to see stuff like this. Like what would it look like at 32,000 feet, for example? Before the flight simulators were this good, I'd use Google Earth. You could actually raise your altitude and then pan around, just like this, but it wasn't anything as nice as this. Wow, we got the Cirrus layer below us. I like that lake mountain town. I was really noticing the cities up along the base of the mountains as we were pulling out of Salt Lake City. Man, oh man. Look at that. The high desert areas. More cities, little airports, farmland. Alrighty, enough sightseeing. Now it's time to talk about flying. So we're almost at the... Did I say tap descent before? I meant cruise. Whatever I said. We're almost at cruise altitude. And once we do, our speed is going to go up very, very quickly. So we have to keep an eye on this so we don't overspeed. But for now, let's figure out what runway we're going to take and everything. Normally what we would do is we pull up the map, and then when our destination came into view, we would select a runway. However, at these speeds, we would probably have to pull up the weather online, and hopefully it's close enough to the sim. It usually is, but sometimes it's off. But then we'd pick a runway based on that. If this was a slower airplane, we'd just pick it here. Look at that huge lake. Alrighty, so because we don't have weather turned on, because it's unflyable in real life in Billings right now, we are just going to pick a runway. So I was thinking about it. I was thinking, let's make it more interesting. Instead of flying straight in on 10 left, let's do 28 right. Just because that'll make us go around and it'll be a lot more scenic and interesting. Although the computer's going to do it for us, but that's okay. I'm watching my tape over here because I'm going to have to make sure you don't overspeed. And then if we were, at 18,000 feet, push standard. Don't have to worry about it though. Alrighty, so let's go home. Let's look at some charts. And here's Salt Lake City, but let's go to a different airport. Let's put in KBIL because I can't remember how to pull up our flight plan to do it. Oh wait, if we go to flight plan and click on it, will it just do a direct or will it pull up airport information? Let's try that. Let's do flight plan. Let's go all the way down to our destination. Here we go. Waypoint info. View charts. Okay, that works too. Runways 7. I'm just checking things out. 28 right. Okay. Does it give us our elevation? 3,600. Remember that. 3,600. We're gonna need that number in a little bit. Runway 20 right. That's not what I meant to do. I meant to back out and view charts. Here we go. So 28 right. We're going to come around and land on this runway here, 28 right. Simple enough. Approaches. Click here. I loaded all this stuff. I really should do a tutorial. 28 right. So what do we want? We're going to circle around. So we want to use probably gyres, and Dopic for our fixes, I guess you call it. Why am I drawing a blank? Actually, that's initial fix, but we're not coming from there. We're coming from over here. Because if you rotate this so that 28 right would be pointing in the right direction instead of off to the side, right here, it should be pointing down. We're actually over here. We're going to come alongside of it. So we want gyres and Dopic. So, how do I do this again? Approach. Do I do this and I load it? How do I load it? Oh, and these are just charts. Okay, so let's go back. Let's go back. How do I load the approach? Load arrival. We want to do GPS. Where are you? RNAV. Oh, which one did I load? Y or Z? I forgot about that. I remember seeing that online. Whatever. We'll see what happens. Okay, that's the first thing we need to do. Next thing we need to do is be careful of our speed so we don't overspeed. Third thing we need to do is calculate our top of descent. So anyway, as this gets closer, we will be able to see what crazy things is going to do to us. I'm kind of tempted to look up the Z one. I'll look up the Z one on my phone while we're cruising and see if that had those fixes in there, but I mean, none of this is in there. I am using really, really old nav data. Maybe that's why. But like I said, at least this is in here. So this will give us a 2.3 nautical. This will give us a 2 mile straight in, whatever. I don't know what this is going to do, but at least we got 2 miles before looking at the runway. All right, so now we have to calculate top descent. What did I say the airport was? You're supposed to remember for me. It was elevation. Where are you? 3.6. Okay, so 32,000. Take away 4,000 to 4,000 would be 28,000, and then another 400. So we have to come down 28,400 feet, and then we have to figure out from there what we want. So 1,000 feet per minute. So 28,400 divided by 1,000 is 28.5 minutes, right? So when we're 28 minutes out, we're going to start our initial descent. And I say initial because we'll be making fine-tune adjustments, you know, as we go. So first of all, let's check out, make sure we're not overspeeding, and we're not. Good. So then we got to go back here. And what did I say it was? 28 minutes. What are we at? We're at 3 minutes plus 6 is 9, because we have to do this manually. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 plus 15 is 19. Hang on, I'm listening to my overspeed horn. There isn't one. 19 plus 15 is 34. So 34 plus 8 is 42, right? Yeah. 3, 4, 5. I'm sorry, 43. So we're 43 minutes out now. So when we're 28 minutes out, we will have top descent. So as this goes and as we pick up speed, this will go down. So I'll just keep track on this. What I'll really do is probably count backwards once we get up to full speed. We'll start here and be like, okay, 1, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So like when we get to Z, we'll start top of descent, roughly. I mean, like I said, that's just initial calculations. We'll be recalculating every couple minutes. How's our speed doing? Oh gosh, yeah, we're not going to get anywhere near overspeed at this altitude. No way. What's your ground speed? That's our indicated. Do we have a ground? I know we have ground speed on here somewhere. Ground speed 340. 340 knots ground. 206 airspeed. So otherwise, descent and landing, nothing to do right now until we start coming down. So I will calculate 28 minutes out, and that'll be top of descent, and I'll see you then. Yeah, this is my problem. I'm trying to manually put in my approach, and these aren't even in here. That's why my stuff is too far away. I might have to just get a subscription and update my nav data, because this is getting ridiculous. This is happening more and more often. So how are we gonna do this? Let's do, I'm working backwards manually, the airport, USIN, UGID, and then I had to skip a couple, so we have to do a different fix. I hope we don't run into something like mountains, Krona, and then we're gonna go direct to Krona and hope we don't hit anything. Let's go, what are we gonna do? DNW, we're gonna go to Grint, and then let's go direct to Kona. So let's, where are we here? DNW, and Grint. So from here, let's do this and let's remove it. Yep. And let's remove this. So we're gonna go from DNW, let's move this one. It's mad because it's trying to go there right now. And let's remove that one. There we go. We're going to go DNW to Grint, right? DNW to Grint. Okay, to Grint. And then from Grint, we're going to go from Grint directly to Krona. So let's remove this one. Yep, let's remove this one. And then we need to remove this one. Then we move to this one. There we go. So we're going to Grint to Krona. Hopefully you don't hit anything. Once you're at Krona, we're following an actual path. Let's just hope we don't hit anything. What's the Krona? Krona is what altitude? 10,000. 10,000 feet. And then we'll pull up our chart. In-game, I'm so used to something else. In sim. Once we're heading from Grint to Krona, we'll pull up our chart in sim. So now we need to calculate top of descent together. And what was it going to be? 28 minutes out. So let's work backwards. So there's 1 minute. Right, that just does it. We can scroll, can't we? Yeah. So there's 1 minute, 5 minutes, 18 minutes, or 18 plus 5, 22 minutes. Okay, so we're at top descent right now. So let's see. Let's look at our map quick. See, there we go. From here to here, as long as we don't hit anything from Grint to Krona, we're fine. As long as there's nothing in the way. Because it's time to do top of descent. So, top of descent. Little thing here. Do I have a... No, I don't have a top of descent. Destination weather. Doesn't matter. Barometer doesn't matter. Too high for anything else. Now we're just going to calculate our change. So we're going to go down here, and we're going to do what is 6,000 for there. We want to enter the pattern at 10 grand. Let's do 10 grand. Enter. We want to do, how do I do, well, let's do alt change first of all. And then how do I make 1,000 feet per minute again? Autopilot, pitch. Actually, we can just go like, hang on, we can just go like this. Yeah, just go like that. There, 1,000 feet per minute. Now all we have to do is just watch our speed. See, I'm worried about this right here. See where my mouse is? I'm worried about hitting that. I think we'll be fine, because after that, that's going to be Grint anyway. We're going to come out and around. Yeah, we should be good. 1,000 feet per minute descent. We're going to get down to 10,000 feet, and then hopefully the computer... let's see, the computer's not going to take over now because I didn't load the arrival, so it's not going to descend for us. It'll follow the path because we have the path right here manually, but it's not going to follow the altitude because I didn't load it. I did it manually. That's fine. We're going to take over manually by then anyway. So if you want to see how this works with the computer getting us to minimums, it's not going to happen because I didn't load it. Sorry. I have other videos on that. Look up the Minneapolis to Duluth video with this. You'll see how it's done. Okay, a little bit more sightseeing while I keep an eye on our speed, and hope I did this right. I hope we did this right. And I'll catch you in a couple minutes. Alright, things are looking good. We're definitely not going to hit anything. Let's come down here and load our arrival. So here it is. So this is what I did, is I just did this backwards. But a lot of these aren't even in here. Most of them aren't. I found Corona, so that's what we're going to use. It'll give us a few extra miles. We want to be at 6,000 feet after that. So let's actually change this to 6 grand. Like so. It's running all chains 1,000 feet per minute. And then 6 grand when we get to Yugi. And then 5 grand and 4 grand and touchdown. So we're going to have to do that manually. I'm going to keep this up just like this so I can get my altitudes. As long as we know Yugi is 6 grand, we're set there. No weather to worry about because it's turned off. I was watching our speed. We almost oversped. I brought back throttles. I brought them back a little bit too much. We do have to get down to 250 though by 10,000 feet. So I'm not going to speed up too much. What I do want to do is get the override switch on for lights and confirm that all shades are in the up position in case we have an incident. That should take care of that. Landing lights, let's turn them on now since we are in such high terrain. And I think we are ready for approach. Yeah, no barometer to worry about. Landing lights, we turned on. Early shades are up. Override switch is on. Flaps, under 200 knots. Then under 140 knots. And gear down, autopilot off. Approach at 99, landing between 76 and 99. So 99 for approach, 76 for landing. We're light. Fuel, good amount of fuel. So I wasn't too far off on that. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep calculating our descent rate. We might have to change that a little bit. And I'm going to watch so we don't overspeed. Bring us down to 250. And I'll catch you in a moment. Alright, we're entering the Billings area, and I got my speed down to about 250, a little before 10,000 feet. I was descending at 1,500 feet per minute for most of it, but now that we've caught up, I'm back to 1,000 feet per minute descent. If we come over here, we're about to turn, and there we go. There's our turn. Let's look out the window, because that's always fun to do. We haven't done that yet. Is it this one? Yep. Craning our necks. We cleared the mountains with plenty of time to spare, which is awesome. And let's head back up front, even though we're able to turn. And I think we were looking at the airport before we turned over there somewhere. I think it was. So let's see. What do we have to do? Not much. Just gear and flaps when it's time. It's a little early for both. So here we are. Let's just zoom in so we can see where we are. Again, we need to be at 6,000 by UKID. We're going to take some very sharp turns. If this that orientation is not correct on that airport, because 28 is this direction. Otherwise, I think we're set. We can start slowing down a little bit. I'm going to go as fast as we're allowed to go. Whoa, we got to get down under 250, 900 feet to do it. There we go. Ground speed is 292. Plenty of fuel. Airport should be right over there. In this area, maybe. Looks like I've got some city stuff. So, like I've said in the previous video, we are going to stay in the cockpit while we approach and land. I'm not going to sightsee while we approach because it doesn't go well. If I have the urge to sightsee, we'll back it up during a replay and check it out. We may or may not do replay. We'll see. Otherwise, we're on our way to Corona. And then you said, so we got 6 minutes to get down to 6,000 feet. So 1,000 feet per minute, that's double what we need. So let's bring it up to 500 or so. There we go. And then we'll be manually flying pretty soon. Otherwise, that's good. All right. 20 seconds of sightseeing for you or whatever, but it'll be 8 minutes for me, and I'll see you then. Alright, we're about to make our turn towards UKID or whatever. And things are about to get real here. Whoa, can't see a thing. Craning our necks, let the airplane do the work. Let's start slowing down because we've got 2 minutes and then we gotta line up for the runway. So I'm going to retype 4,260 here because that's what our decision is there. 4,260. And then if I screw up, it'll hold us at that. And then we can regroup and go missed, but we should be fine. So let's start slowing down. Because once we turn on final, we want to get our gear down and flaps down. And we want to be, what's it, 200 for the first set of flaps and gear? Yeah, then 140. Alrighty, so we should be getting focused here. Airport should be right out there somewhere. Looks like that's the greater Billings area. Let's have one final look around before we do our final turn. Well, keep an eye on that speed. Let's not go below 200 right now. A little bit more throttle. Do one quick look around. We're not going to do a replay sightsee thing. So let's just look around now. Looking gorgeous. I've never been to Billings. I have no story time for this video, obviously. Sorry it's so long, or maybe not sorry it's so long. Whenever I do subscriber requests, I try to keep more sightseeing in along the way and more detail and stuff. So that's why it's longer. But there we go. There's your greater Billings area. And the mountains in the distance. All the way around, which we did not hit, which was good. And there we go. Let's hop back inside. That's it for sightseeing. It's time to fly a plane. Let's watch that speed. We're a good speed, though. And then we want to go all the way down to 99 knots. For final approach, and touchdown is 76. So flaps at 200 and 140, final approach at 99, touchdown between 76 and 99. We're about to turn on to our final. It's going to be like, what is it, couple minute final, I think I said. Otherwise, there we go. Let's get ready for this turn. Alright, our altitude is going to be right at 6K, which is awesome. And we're going to turn off autopilot in a second, so I'm not going to worry about our rate of descent at the moment. As soon as we straighten out, we're going to slow down, flaps down, gear down, and take over. And I should be ready to go here, I think. Yep. I don't know why I'm nervous. There it is. There's our runway. We should be lined up. Like I said, I had to step us down manually with autopilot because GPS wasn't going to do it because I did everything manually. So here we go. Let's turn off autopilot and the yaw damper. And let's slow down. And we'll get gear down. Now, you know, we don't normally watch gear animation. Let's have a peek at this. Looking good. There we go. That's going to make us slow down for a set of flaps. There we go. Ooh, this is touchy. Very touchy. Speed's coming down now. That's what we wanted. At 140, we'll do our next set of flaps. We're way too high because it floated. That's okay. We'll recover nicely. We're bringing back throttles to increase our rate of descent. I'm not adjusting pitch for speed at the moment. Our speed is fine. We're drifting over to the left. And flight time is an hour and 13 minutes so far. Yep, we'll do a second set of flaps in a minute. Oh, it's telling us our alt is about to catch up and we don't really care. Whoops, turn all of you off. I guess I didn't really need that. Let's turn that off too. I don't care about that. Second set of flaps. Keep that GPS purple line lined up. We are still IFR. So keep that purple line lined up. A little to the right. I'm talking about that purple line down here. See? There we go. Now we're lined up. All right. Let's go report runway in sight. Pappy say we're a little low. So we're going to just nose up a little bit to slow us down to 99. We're not going to adjust our throttle because I don't want to come down any steeper. Looks like we're going to be landing on a cliff side here, which makes it very difficult. So do not look at the cliff here. You'll run into it. Look at the Pappy because I don't have anything, you know, I don't have anything telling me like ILS or anything. Whoops, I wasn't looking out the window. So we just, oh yeah, we do have it right here. Good, it is showing up. Okay, it just popped in. If it was already there, I wasn't looking. So let's not look at the cliff. Let's look at the purple thing. So let's level off. We'll use throttles to level off because we're at 99 knots pretty much. And we need, oh, see, I'm going to hit that cliff if I don't look at the purple thing. There we go. Now the purple thing's agreeing with us. There we go. Now we're on the glide slope and we're good approach speed. Wow. See, I was talking it out. I was saying what not to do and that's what I did. So let's look at the purple line. Now we're too high. I don't believe we're too high, but that's what the purple line says. Let's slow down.
400, 300.
See, the terrain is screwing us up. See, listen to that.
100.
See? Good approach speed. Let's not go too slow, though. Let's not stall this out. Ooh, why are we stalling? We're going faster than we're supposed to. This is 76. Let's not use 76. That's a bad number. Oh, dear.
30.
Let's just land.
20.
Let's just land this plane.
10.
We're way off center. Come on, touchdown. Oh, come on. I did this last video too. There we go. Greased it, which isn't always a good thing. Nose down gently, please. I landed very, very long, but I got a smooth landing out of it. That 76 was a bad number because we started stalling and sinking like crazy. Oh my gosh, so I'm not using that number anymore. I'm going to come at like 86 to 99, not 76. That's where we went wrong, is it said 76 in my checklist, and that, no, we were stalling way before that. So, all right, let's use the brakes lightly here, see if we can make this. Yeah, flaps already came in. Do we want to look at the replay? I do, because I like looking at the replays on my bad landings just to see what we did wrong. If it were a perfect landing, we wouldn't look at the replay, but I want to see what went wrong there. I think I was stalling, so I overcompensated, and then we floated halfway down the runway. So let's get past the stop line here, and then we'll look at the replay, and then we'll shut this thing down. All right, so let's just go a little bit here and stop. Right about here. There we go. Stop. Set the parking brake. Stop the timer. hour 16 flight time. Let's do the replay and then we'll shut this thing down the proper way. Alright, so over the cliff. So I was talking about how you don't look at the cliff and everything, and you're supposed to, you know, look at your instruments. And then, because I was talking about the cliff, we almost ran into it. So let's look at the purple dot, and we went up glide slope, which is fine. But then I started going slower to touch down, and it was like, no way, Jose. So I gunned it to speed us back up. So this is about where, just before this was where I noticed we were going to stall. So they sped us up. And then what happened here? Let's see what happened. Let's line up so you can see when we actually touch down. Yeah, right there. There we go. So we just about had it, but I was worried about stalling and hitting too hard. We ended up coming across the runway a little bit. So even though it was very, very smooth, that was a very, very poor landing, but I don't know. Yuck. Let's look at the inner runway view just because we can. Alright, here we are coming in. You can hear the disappointment in my voice, but it's not about the landing. I mean, that's part of it, but I don't know. We just were really, really floaty. And then we should have touched down right there. That still would have been in the TTZ. But then the throttle finally kicked in and we floated half an angle-ish. That looks really bad from this view. Alright, let's go back to real time and figure this thing out. Alright, so here we are. What do we need to do? Stop the timer. We did. Flaps up. Yes, we did. Taxi lights now. Come on. Landing lights come off. The right switch comes off. People can play with their shades and their lights now if they want to. And yeah, see those lights that just kicked in? That's because I have all the lights turned on. Because they wanted them on. So let's turn them up. Ah, finish to get dark again. There we go. Alrighty. Let's look at our airport diagram. Because we have one. And let's see. Airport. No, that's not what I meant. Is it this one? There we go. Alright, so we landed 28 right. And where are we? We're on Delta. So if we're on Delta, let's see, we landed 28 right. Oh my gosh, we went all the way down here. And they turned left. So where is general aviation? Is there general aviation? Looks like we have some hangars here. Let's do the executive hangar area. So we're on Delta, so we're going to take Delta, and we're going to turn right on Alpha. Alpha Golf Hotel. Alpha Golf Hotel. Think I'm going to remember that? Probably not. Let's hop outside, take the parking brake off, give this thing some throttle. And I wanted to turn right on Alpha, correct? Yeah. Turn right on Alpha. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. There we go. Now we're rolling. Alright, so we're going to turn right on Alpha, left on Golf, and then right on Hotel. Come on. I'm kind of going to the left a little bit. Alright, here's Alpha. And then looks like we're going to interfere with runway 7 or 25 to get to Golf, but that's the right way to go here, because runway 28 is parallel to her right off in the distance there. So here we go. Let's turn left on Golf. Just like this. Stay on that yellow line, even though we're kind of small. Here we go. Left on Golf. And not on the yellow line at all. And talking this out, that landing at the last minute when it went to the crapper, I should have gotten missed at that point, right? Gotten missed and then reset myself up. But instead we landed and we would have been yelled at probably for that one. Alright, now we're looking for a hotel and then we'll be at our executive hangar. Alright, so this airport modeled doesn't look exactly like the map, so we are going to go on hotel and then we'll just go past the Cirrus airplanes over there and stop at this really big hangar that I see, which is not this first big one, but that second big one in the distance. That's where we're going to go. Alrighty, let's just pull in over here. We have people waiting for us, and then they'll just back us in with a dolly or something once we've stopped. Here we go. Let's park right about here. And stop here. Let's set the parking brake, and what do we need to do to shut this thing down? Let the throttles idle for 1 minute. Anti-ice off, defog off. Let's see. Let's turn off our taxi lights. We can turn these off. I don't know where the power is, so we'll just let it be. That's radios. Hang on. How do you turn these things off? It says power off. I don't see power off. Doesn't matter. Air source off. There we go. Turn off the engines. There we go. Alright, turn on the GPU. So we have some power. There we go, like so. Start battery off. External lights off. Left and right generators off. Bus ties off. System battery off. Open the door and set the chocks. Why can't we set the chocks? Because the door's opening? Chocks. What's going on? What did I miss that I can't do the chocks? Look at everything still turning off. Obviously I forgot something because I can't do the chocks. That's weird. Anyway, that's worked before. What do we need to do? People are coming out. And luggage is out. Can I do the chocks now? There we go. I think it was too soon. Alright, there you go. Subscriber request. Salt Lake City to Billings. Very, very rough on the approach with the stars, and it turns out it's simply because my nav data is out of date. It wasn't anything I was doing wrong. It's just my nav data was out of date. So that's good to know that I'm not a total crazy person. The landing was very poor, but that's okay. We already talked about that. So we're just looking around the airport here. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I certainly did. If you have a request, let me know in the comments. I will fly requests as long as flight time is about an hour, hour and a half. Otherwise, simple as that. I'm going to get back to some flight planning, and I'll catch you on the next one.